Well, a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us here at Ibru Primetime News this Tuesday, the 21st day of January 2020. My name is Diana Rachel Mbugua.
That's right. Ibru Primetime News begins right now. Good evening and welcome aboard. My name is Kenneth. Kazungu, our sign language interpreter for tonight is Joyce Wairimo. Now, the supremacy wars in President Uhuru Kenyatta's Jubilee Party played out in the Senate this afternoon after a motion to establish an 11-member select committee to hear impeachment charges against Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waitito was defeated in favor of a whole plenary.
Now, this left a Senate leader of majority, Kipchumba Murkomen, who was pushing for the establishment of a special committee with an egg on the face. Take a look.
Waitito's ouster has split Jubilee senators, with those allied to President Uhuru Kenyatta pushing for upholding the Assembly's decision, while DP William Ruto's supporters opposing it.
Let them go to plenary. But Murkomen will stick to committee process, Mr. Speaker, because I know that is where the issues that are before us will be canvassed, Mr. Speaker, will be found in detail. Mr. Speaker, I have faith 100% of everybody that I nominated and the people nominated by Senator Orengo to vote, Mr. Speaker, in their committee and to make a decision on behalf of this House.
Politics of Tangatanga and Kieleweke openly played out when the House was forced to reconsider the list of the 11 members proposed to consider the impeachment of Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waitito.
Senator Iman Falhada Deko.
The push and pull was punctuated by a 10-minute adjournment proposed by Leader of Minority James Orengo after senators led by Samuel Fogisho of West Pokot raised issues with the membership, claiming that it was disproportionate in favor of Tangatanga wing of Jubilee.
Whichever way the process takes, we are looking at this House as a House that will give verdict for the best lives of people of Kiambu.
To completely ventilate, have a thorough investigation, Mr. Speaker, then those issues must come out, Mr. Speaker. But the names that we have right now, Mr. Speaker, if I go to Kiambu tomorrow and I tell the people of Kiambu that finally, after all that brawl and, sorry, Mr. Speaker, to use the word brawl, but after all the disagreement and arguments, Mr. Speaker, that you saw, that then finally we agreed that this committee is the one that is going to render justice. I doubt, Mr. Speaker, at this point in time.
Waitito is associated with Tangatanga, and therefore, a majority of senators, including Isaac Mwaura, believe that the committee may not bring a fair report to the House.
Mr. Speaker, I use the word allegedly.
Mwaura said that no senator from Central Kenya was chosen to be a member of the committee. Waitito, his wife Sarah Wangari, and 8 others are facing graft cases after being accused of irregularly awarding themselves 580 million shillings tenders. Waitito also faces charges of abuse of office by awarding tenders to get kickbacks. As a result, Waitito and the MCAs will appear before the full House during the sitting to defend their cases.
Now, in an apparent change of tune, the Tangatanga political wing, aligned to the Deputy President William Ruto, has announced that it will tag along the consultative Building Bridges Initiative BBI meetings organized and presided over by Opposition Chief Raila Odinga. Now, the leaders, led by Majority Leader in the Senate, Kipchumba Murkomen, said their resolve move to join the movement is to highlight challenges Kenyans are facing instead of constant politicking over power sharing. Our reporter Jeff Haemba attended the media briefing and filed the following story.
A political showdown looms this weekend in Mombasa County as Tangatanga team supporting Deputy President William Ruto vowed to join the movement. The leaders in their media briefing in a Nairobi hotel announced to join the Raila Odinga-led BBI movement after wide consultation.
After consultations as leaders, we have decided, in order to pursue the original spirit of the BBI, irrespective of our concerns against the use of public resources in a process that has been blessed with full nationwide consensus, that we will participate and, where necessary, take charge of these public rallies.
Deputy President William Ruto and his allies have in the recent past faulted the BBI rallies which kick-started in Kisii County before proceeding to Kakamega County. However, the drastic turn of the events is likely to amplify the politics more with the agenda of selling BBI.
Na tunachukua nafasi hii kukaribisha Wakenya wote kwamba wakuje Mombasa Jumamosi ili tukae pamoja tuweze kuelewa ni lipi linaweza kusaidia Wakenya kutokana na maneno ya BBI.
We shall redirect the BBI conversation to people-centric issues such as economy, unemployment. At the moment, the discussion is centered on pursuit of political power and positions by leaders.
Kipchumba Murkomen, who is the majority leader of the Senate, has accused the BBI team of forming a committee with an underground drafting report and the bill.
There are already published statements, a schedule of BBI rallies. We are going to participate in all those rallies, starting from Mombasa this weekend.
No one has refused BBI. And there's nothing that stops people from tangatangaing in Kisii, like they tangatangaing in Kakamega, like they tangatangaed in Bukungu. Let us tangatanga in Mombasa. Because what's happening right now is tangatanga. And we will tangatanga together in Mombasa.
Would we rather sit and watch misinformation and discussion out there that is about positions and about power, yet we can have that opportunity to share things to do with the economy, things to do with unemployment?
The remarks by the Tangatanga team comes after the two political heavyweights, Musalia Mudavadi of the NC party and Moses Wetangula of the Ford Kenya party, swallowed their pride by joining their counterparts at the Bohongo Stadium in Kakamega County. According to Bungoma Governor Wycliffe Wangamati, they will continue pushing for the BBI agenda.
And I think for us in Western Kenya, the affirmation was very clear that we do support BBI. I'm happy to hear that the Jubilee members of parliament that are aligned to Tangatanga will be attending a Mombasa rally. We welcome them and we want to move forward as a country. But to be honest, you can't stand all Kenyans want BBI.
Governor Wycliffe Wangamati refuted the allegations of the BBI meeting are meant to swindle public money.
I think that is normal. In politics, propaganda is part of the tool. But I think to claim that we use 30 million, that is, of course, not true. And I don't want to engage Khalwale on those issues because it doesn't make sense for me to engage him.
Already preparation in Mombasa County are on top gear ahead of the meeting slated this Saturday. The two BBI meetings that were held in Kisii County and Kakamega were used to hit at the BBI opponents, key among them the Deputy President William Ruto. Following the move by the Tangatanga movement, the BBI proponents might just have to go back to the drawing board as the target of their team will now be amidst them. Reporting for Ebro TV, I'm Jeff Khaemba.
When that was happening, the Deputy President was making his church exploits where the Anglican Church is asking politicians not to hijack the BBI process. They say the views of all Kenyans, irrespective of their standing in society, must be heard. Canterbury Archbishop Justin Welby and Anglican Archbishop, that is Jackson Olesopit, said the unity of the country was more important than scoring political goals. Archbishop Welby said he has taken note of the BBI's objective of finding solutions to Kenyans' problems.
There is always a temptation that if I don't agree with you, you are wrong, which is not the case. It may not necessarily be the case. The temptation not to accommodate alternative views. Having a different view does not necessarily mean you are against. And having a process that is all-inclusive and also having a process that is people-centered, not politicians-centered, will get us where we want to go.
Let's not use the BBI as a way of mobilizing for political expediency at the expense of the discussion of what was brought as affecting Kenyans. So that Kenyans have an opportunity to...
I saw your statement.
Yes, because what I was thinking is if it is taken now and become a political rallies document, then we lose it.
The biggest challenge in creating a conversation like this is to allow those who are unhappy with the process to be heard.
Now, away from the BBI matters, President Uhuru Kenyatta says the looming Brexit may end up being a blessing in disguise for Kenya. While pitching for private sector support to accelerate his Big Four agenda, Uhuru said Brexit presents an opportunity for Kenya and the UK to forge deeper trade ties. Uhuru noted that Kenya is entering a new stage in its partnership with the UK post-Brexit. He said the move by the UK government to aggressively seek new opportunities outside Europe could be advantageous to Kenya and the rest of Africa. Uhuru was speaking in London during a meeting between Kenya and UK business executives.
You all know that the United Kingdom is key to Kenya and has been a well-tested strategic partner over the years. You are our fifth largest export destination. But also equally, and I believe more importantly, you also form the largest pool of foreign investors in Kenya, with over about 220 British companies based and working in Kenya. Kenya has established a market niche in the United Kingdom also for some of our leading products, tea, as the Prime Minister mentioned yesterday, coffee, flowers, fruits, vegetables. And we, on the other hand, have never lost faith in UK manufactured goods, including motor vehicles, printed materials, machineries, and chemicals. But we're entering a new stage, and I think we all know that, in our partnership with the United Kingdom post-Brexit. I must admit some of us were not keen on a Brexit situation. But I must also say that now that it's happened, and indeed the manner in which the British government is aggressively pursuing new opportunities outside of Europe, I think this might end up being a blessing in disguise for all of us. And I think there is indeed huge potential.
Back home now, and High Court Judge Justice Mbugua has disqualified herself from hearing an application filed by Nairobi Governor Mike Sanko that seeks to vary a magistrate's order barring him from accessing his office until a corruption case is heard and determined. The judge said that Sanko, in his application, has pointed that she will not be fair if allowed to hear and determine the application. In the application, Sanko has sought for an order to have the file placed before Chief Justice David Maraga to appoint a three-judge bench to hear the suit. Sanko, who is out on a 15 million shilling cash bail, was inducted along 17 other county officials, including county employees and suppliers accused of playing roles in the scandal. All right, and staying with the wars facing the Nairobi governor, and a magistrate at a Voi Law Court is set to decide on an application to drop the charges against Governor Mike Sanko. Senior resident magistrate, that is Frederick Nyakundi, says he will rule on the matter on Wednesday. Now, this comes after Regional Coast Police Commander Rashid Yakub filed an application in court to drop an assault case against Nairobi Governor Mike Sanko following an assault on him by the governor last year when he was being arrested. Our reporter Milia Kisienya with more.
Governor Mike Sanko was to be arraigned December 18th last year at the Voi Law Court, but failed to appear as he wasn't well, according to his lawyers. Earlier today, the Governor Mike Sanko availed himself before senior resident magistrate Frederick Nyakundi to face charges against assaulting a police officer last year while he was arrested by EACC officers at Ikanga Strip in Voi. The incident occurred on December 6th as the governor was being arrested at a roadblock in Voi over graft allegations at City Hall. However, the proceedings will take a different twist after the officer who filed the application decided to drop assault charges against the governor, Mike Sanko. The senior magistrate, Frederick Nyakundi, is now set to rule on the matter tomorrow. Apart from the assault charges, Governor Mike Sanko is also facing 19 charges of corruption, abuse of office and irregular payments that lost the county 357 million Kenya shillings in Nairobi County. Milia Kisenya for Ebro TV.
Now moving on, the leadership row at the University of Nairobi has taken a fresh twist after Professor Stephen Kiama Gitahi, whose appointment as Vice-Chancellor had been revoked by Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha, announced new appointments at the institution. In a notice dated January 21st, 2020, Professor Kiama says Professor Madara Ogot, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor in charge of research, has been appointed acting Deputy Vice-Chancellor in charge of finance after Professor Isaac Meroka Mbeche, who held the position, proceeded on annual leave. The statement claims that it is Professor Mbeche who requested to proceed on annual leave effective January 6, 2020. Baringo County and the National Surveillance Team have confirmed the presence of desert locusts at the top of Mount Tiati in Tirioko area of East Pokot sub-county. Now, the team led by a Captain Teriot today morning managed to locate the presence of the swarm in areas of Kalpesa, Mkochepleng and Kapelo after conducting an aerial surveillance. The confirmation of the desert locust in parts of the vast county follows a two-day extensive ground surveillance after residents of Kamurio village reported the invasion of the devastating pests in the area.
Na wale locust tunaambiwa kwamba walitoka sehemu ile ya Suguta wakateremka na wakuweza kuguza chini sehemu ile ya Kapau, wakakuja kuland hapa chini, hapa hii mlima ya Kabedo North sublocation. Wakati sisi tumefika hapa ndio tumeweza kuona kwamba zile zilikuwa zimebaki ndio zile ziko ngambo sehemu ile, hatungeweza kufika, labda tuitishe msaada ya chopa ili tufuke ngambo ile, ama ituchukue karibu siku moja kufika ngambo ile. Kwa sababu ya hapa itabidi tusunguke mbali ndio tufike ngambo ile, lakini ikiwa ni chopa ni karibu kilomita.
Now, from the plague that refuses to go to the problem that continues to plague the country, and a majority of border riders have low levels of schooling, with majority of them at primary and secondary education levels. Now, this is according to a recent report by the National Crime Research Center, which found a strong connection between border operators, weak regulations, and the siege mentality to increased cases of robberies, causing deaths by dangerous riding, breach of public order, committing murder, and kidnapping. Of course, the most prevalent motorcycle-related crimes committed by border riders were assault at 67%, robbery and robbery with violence at 52.9%, murder at 38.7%, and kidnapping and abduction at 26.2%. Other border-related crimes are rape at 17.2%, defilement at 17.8%, causing death by dangerous driving at 79.5%. However, there were also crimes committed against border or motorcycle riders. They include murder at 62.2%, robbery with violence at 85.2%, assault at 28.9%, and theft of motorcycle and motorcycle parts at 62.9%. To educational matters now, and at least 20,000 public schools countrywide stare at the risk of encroachment of their land after the process of issuance of titling or title deeds to schools delayed. Now, according to Shule Yangu Alliance, which is in the task force tasked with ensuring the titles are issued, the delay poses a threat of grabbing of the school land by powerful individuals and institutions.
including St. Catherine Primary School, Buruburu Girls High School, Martin Luther Primary School, Kamukunji Secondary School, and the Langata Secondary School. A school's land protection lobby, Shule Yangu Alliance, now says that the threat of school land being grabbed still lingers in various parts of the country. The lobby notes that Changamwe Secondary School, Nakuru Teachers Primary, Embakasi Girls and City Primary School, among many other schools, are at risk. Shule Yangu Alliance campaign coordinator Eric Kinaga, while calling upon the president to fulfill his promise of ensuring that all the schools are titled, cites situations where government entities are also culprits of grabbing land meant for public schools.
The idea is to accelerate the process. If a school which is under the Ministry of Education would require to write to the National Land Commission to get the process kick-started, that school can get support through the task force. So then the process is accelerated.
Kinaga says one school that is at risk is Mwamdudu Primary School in Coast Region, with which a private developer has been frustrating the school as well as the surrounding community, despite a court injunction.
There are schools in the coast like Mweza, which unfortunately has been grabbed by the Kenya Navy. It's been encroached by the Kenya Navy and it's been an issue for a long time. There are schools such as Mwamdudu, which has an active case in court.
Remaining 20,000 schools.
Now to other stories, the rehabilitation of Wayway Irrigation scheme in West Pokot County that was destroyed as a result of landslides and floods in West Pokot County late last year will begin next week. Now, Kerio Valley Development Authority will spend 300 million shillings to rehabilitate 3 irrigation schemes destroyed by floods in Pokot Central Sub-County in West Pokot County. Take a look.
The heavy rains in November last year saw 3 irrigation schemes, Wayway, Tukou, Sangat and Marich Pass, destroyed. Hundreds of agricultural land with crops and fruits in the schemes was also destroyed. The crops include maize, beans and fruits. The floods also left more than 20,000 households who used to depend on the irrigation schemes for their livelihoods totally affected by the calamity. And now, starting next week, the rehabilitation of the Wayway irrigation scheme, water canals and other systems destroyed as a result of the landslides and floods will officially start.
Sasa umeona jinsi wako wanatengeneza maji yao ni kwa sababu wanataka kuokoa mimea yao katika mashamba yao.
Wayway Irrigation Scheme Chairperson Mark Meut said farmers encountered a huge loss after the destruction, adding that it will be hard for farmers to start the year 2020 farming season.
Ningependa kuomba waziri Bwana Peter Munya kwamba irrigation schemes katika Kenya hii iweze kuangaliwa, iwe ni swala spesheli ambalo linaipwa kipaumbele. Kwa sababu sasa hivi kama wakulima tunajipanga kwenda kulima.
KVDA Managing Director Samina Poros said that they have set aside 2 million shillings for the emergency response to address the water challenge after the damage.
Vile mnajua kwamba kwa miezi zilizopita ilipata shida kubwa sana kwa ajili ya mafuriko na landslide. Na tunatafuta partners kama serikali ya Kenya na partners kutoka Italian Corporation, tunafanya kazi pamoja kuhakikisha kwamba tunapata suluhisho.
Italian Cooperation Agency Director for Development Fabian Melon said that they have been supporting the scheme for many years, which is a huge impact on livelihood.
We are committed, Italy is committed to find, as the permanent secretary said, an emergency solution, a temporary solution to get the possibility to reestablish the water and the possibility to irrigate the fields.
Devolution Principal Secretary Mika Pawon, who accompanied the MD, said that the government has started assessing the value of the damage at the scheme.
So today we came to assess and see how we can respond for the short term, and we have already come up with a solution, which as from next week we are going to be on the ground to get a temporary solution.
Busara Naman for Ebru TV.
To a story now that will literally send tongues wagging, and Embu Ward representatives have revised the official alcohol consumption hours in the county from 5 p.m. to to 3 p.m. from Monday to Friday in a bid to curb the proliferation of illicit liquor. In an amendment to the Embu County Alcoholic Drinks Control Bill of 2019, County Assembly Trade Committee Chairman Lenny Masters Mwaniki also recommended the sale and consumption of alcohol 24 hours a day. The same recommendations will be effective 7 days a week in hotels, lodges, restaurants, members' clubs, and travelers' lodges. Supermarkets, wines and spirits outlets will also be allowed to open to sell alcohol from 10 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., while nightclubs and discotheques are now authorized to sell liquor from 2 p.m. to 3 a.m. Theatres, on the other hand, have been permitted to sell alcohol from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m., while bars will now be allowed to sell alcohol from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. during weekends and gazetted public holidays. From that story in Embu to another one in Kisii, and a family in Mwembe village, Kisii Central Sub-County, has been spending sleepless nights after their son, who was poised to join Form 1 this year, vanished without a trace in November of last year. The family says the last year's KCPE candidate disappeared immediately. Examination results were released and is yet to be found. According to his father, Ian Moshama, had anticipated to garner about 330 bucks out of the possible 500, but was dismayed to realize that he could only manage 214 marks. Moshama says the disappointed 13-year-old boy showed the mother the marks and walked away, never to be seen again.
Wakati mtihani litokea, huyu kijana ndiye amepotea, akaenda akaona mtihani wake. Mpaka saa hii hatujamuona, alipotea masaa ya jioni saa 12 mpaka saa hii. Wakati huo nilikuwa mtihani litokea, alinipigia simu na simu ya mama yake. Ananiambia tati, mtihani itatoka. Kuna promise yenye alikuwa anatuambia tumunulie. Mimi aliniambia nimunulie kuna kiatu kinaitwa Timberland. Akipata max yake alikuwa anatarajia kupata ni 400 mpaka 370. Hii mtoto akaenda hivyo, akaenda kwenda nyuma, akamwambia muita akuje atuambie ndio tujue. Ati hajakuja saa 2, hajakuja saa 3, saa 4, saa 5. Nikamkia kesa asubuhi, nikaacha gari Nairobi, nikateremka nikakuja. Nikakuja siku hiyo tarehe 19, nikaweka ripoti polisi.
Imekuwa shida kubwa sana kwetu kwa sababu yule kijana alifanya mtihani wa darasa la 8, ilikuwa chiunge na kidato cha kwanza. Sasa usajili ushafanyika, lakini bado hatujaona kama atarudi kwa wakati huu.
Nilikuwa na customer, sasa nikaongojea waende, ndio sasa nianze kuangalia kwa simu. Kati naangalia kwa simu, sikuona message yoyote kwa simu. Sasa nikasema enda muite huyu mtoto atuambie index yake. Sasa wakati walikuwa wanamtafuta, hawakumuona. Wakatuambia mwenye nilituma akakuja akaniambia hii ni hayuko. Sasa mimi nikafikiria amerudi tu kwa nyumba. Kati napigia kijana wao mkubwa simu, akaniambia sijamuona.
Now to matters health, human resource, infrastructure and drug supply are major components to an efficient healthcare system. This is according to Bungoma Governor Wycliffe Wangamati, who says delivery of health services in counties cannot be effective and accessible if any of these components are not met. Wangamati's sentiments come at a time when President Uhuru Kenyatta has directed the full rollout of universal health coverage in all the 47 counties following a successful pilot project. Winnie Lubembe tells us more.
Among the president's Big Four agenda, attainable of affordable healthcare for all citizens by the year 2022 is key. Following the successful pilot project in select counties of Machakos, Kisumu, Isiolo and Nyeri, there has been increased utilization in services ranging from 20% to 50% across the 4 counties. To achieve the full rollout countrywide, the government has entered into an intergovernmental partnership agreement with counties, with Bungoma County being the latest to sign the agreement. The county's governor, Wycliffe Wangamati, has welcomed the move, saying the partnership will help boost service delivery in the counties.
We are dealing with the issue of infrastructure. So, of course, the issue of personnel is very crucial. Over the last 2 months, we have given promotions, basically just to motivate some of our staff. Some of them had stayed in same positions for the last 10 years. We just gave them promotions, and then we are in the process of recruiting new nurses and other category of medical staff across the county. So we are dealing with all the 3 components at the same time to ensure that we have efficient delivery of medical services.
The governor, like his fellow governors who have signed the partnership agreement, have admitted that funding has been a major issue in all counties, which slows down service delivery.
I mean, funding is always a problem, and at no time would you, even if today you went to the US, you went to the UK, those developed countries, they'll talk about a shortage of funding. But I think with the coming of universal healthcare, it's going to help us, because this is a collaboration between the county government and national government. And national government will be coming in with some funding and complementing the funding that we have in the county government. So we expect the delivery of services to county governments go up after the coming of the universal health.
The delay in releasing of county funds by the Treasury has landed many counties in trouble with the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, KEMSA. The outgoing health CS, Cicely Kariuki, has urged governors to come up with a repayment plan to settle the debt.
National government commits to supplement county allocations for the supply of essential medicines and medical supplies, which include lab commodities, to be made available to public health facilities in Kenya through the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority. Importantly, in this phase, focusing on levels 2 and 3.
Bungoma County becomes the latest county to sign the Intergovernmental Partnership Agreement, which will see the attainment of universal health coverage by 2022, even as the government invests 41.9 billion shillings in key strategic areas. Winnie Lubembe for Ebru TV.
Well, on that note, we take a very short break, but we'll be right back with more news from the business world. Stay with us.
For that. All right, let's play. And sports has been one unifying way in every community. And now Mikindani member of Mombasa County Assembly, Juma Renson Thoya, has sponsored drought checkers games across his ward, which is bearing fruits from reduced criminal incidences often attributed to idleness, drugs and alcoholism. Davis Mberia with more on that story.
Residents of Mikindani Ward, Mombasa County have something to smile for, with the ward representative Juma Renson Thoya organizing checker sports activities cut across all ages and gender, with the elderly engaging with the youths in the competition. According to the ward representative Juma Renson Thoya, he decided to initiate the program in the ward in order to provide a platform for the leaders to engage the idle youth and provide mentorship for the youth.
Nia ilikuwa ni kuhakikisha kwamba tunaleta vijana na wazee pamoja kupambana na hali tata ya usalama na mambo ya radicalization ambayo katika jimbo hili yameonekana yakikita mizizi.
Na kwa vile hata mimi pia ni mzee wa mtaa wa area hii, umenisaidia sana kwa sababu tukiwa tuko hapa huwa tunapata habari kutoka mbalimbali. Wacha Ganaola peke yake, hata Mikindani mzima. Kwa hivyo nimeona ikiwa itaendelea hivyo kwa mitaa mingine, hata pressure ya vijana kukunywa pombe, kuvuta mabangi huko itapungua.
70-year-old Paul Musyoka, the winner of the draft tournament, pocketed 5,000 shillings, a trophy and a medallion after emerging the overall winner in the village draft tournament. Cyrus Mwadime came second in the tournament, pocketing 3,000 shillings, medallion and a trophy courtesy of the MCA. Third place went to Godfrey Odhiambo, who pocketed 1,000 shillings, a medallion and a trophy.
Mimi niliwacha kunywa tembo. Saa hii ulevi wangu ni ndurabu. Kama sina kazi ya kuendelea naye, nakuja kwa ndurabu. Mimi kazi yangu ni ya kuuza kuku. Na kama sina kuku, nakuja wapi? Nakuja hapa.
Changamoto inakuwa ni opportunity ama ni nafasi ambayo unaweza kuingia na ukainua watu. Nimeona wazee wana raha na huo ndio mwanzo wa kuweza kuembrace mchezo huu.
Davis Mberia, Ebru Sports.
Now, Aston Villa have completed the 10 million euros signing of striker Mbugua Samatta from Genk. Now, Samatta joins on a 4.5-year deal with the move subject to a work permit and international clearance being granted. Now, aged 27, Samatta started out at Simba FC and then joined TP Mazembe prior to signing for Genk in 2016.
Samatta has scored 76 goals in 191 appearances for Genk, and is also the captain of his country, Tanzania, for whom he has scored 18 times in 51 games. He was on the score sheet against Liverpool in the Champions League earlier this season. Samatta will provide Villa with some much-needed additional attacking firepower, with Wesley set for a lengthy spell on the sidelines due to an anterior cruciate ligament injury.
Well, on that note, this is where we wrap up Ibru News, Primetime News. Thank you so much for keeping us company and letting us inform you on matters across the world and here in the country. My name is Diana Rachel Mbugua. Do have yourselves a lovely night and God bless.
My name is Kenneth Kazungu. Our sign language interpreter for tonight has been the lovely Joyce Wairimo. See you soon and God bless.